right. Well, welcome everybody. And first off, I want to start off by saying congratulations to everyone that's here. I'm so excited to have you here, and I'm so excited to have this training. We're so lucky to be blessed by having Danielle and Kelly on tonight. Danielle is going to share with us what she did to build this business, and she started. Her story is amazing, and she is going to share with us. We're so lucky to have a multi-million-dollar earner share with us how she did it. So I want to let you know this is going to be recorded. So please take notes, but really, don't worry about writing everything down. Listen to what Danielle's saying, and just make notes of what you want to go back to, because this will be recorded. You can go back to it. So I would just love for everybody to just go around really quick, just 5 seconds. Just let us know where you are, where you're watching from, where you call home, and how long you've been with New You Life. So Marcus, can you go first?
Oh, so you're gonna hit the new guy first, okay?
I'm going down the road.
All brand new for me. I'm originally from Southeast Georgia. I currently reside in Palm Bay, Florida.
Nice. And how long have you been with New You Life?
Today.
Today. Awesome.
Today. You want a bottle of gel?
That's awesome, Marcus. That's great.
And so, Paul, can you unmute?
Yeah.
Paul, can you tell us where you're from and how long you've been with New You Life?
Paul Robinson, born in New York, live in Winston-Salem, North Carolina right now, and this is my first full month. I started the last few days of May, but really got started this month of June.
And he's crushing it.
And I qualified today. Woo!
Awesome.
All right, Rick Goltz.
Good evening, y'all. I'm from Vancouver, Canada. Originally, I live in Spring, Texas now. I've been with the company for 2.5 years now, and I love it. Most of all, I love the people I get to work with.
That's
All right.
awesome. Good to see you.
All right. And David, can you tell us where you're from and how long you've been with New You Life?
I am living in San Diego County, and I have been since I actually became a distributor today. I signed up for that today, but I'm not signed completely yet.
Welcome. So glad to have you here. Phyllis, can you unmute and let us know where you're from and how long you've been with New You Life?
Hi.
Hi.
I'm from my treadmill right now. That's why my camera's not on. You don't want to see me on the treadmill. I'm in Florida. I've been on the gel, I think 3 months now.
All right. Well, welcome. Glad to have you here. Sharon, are you able to unmute? I think Sharon may not be able to unmute. She mentioned that earlier today or earlier this week. So Danielle, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Excellent. So, guys, first of all, I didn't know there was going to be some brand new people on. Very cool. Oh, we had someone else join just now, so welcome.
Hi, Lupita.
Yeah, so if you want to introduce Lupita real quick, since we're just starting.
Hi, Lupita. We just went around and said where we are from and how long we've been with New You Life. Can you unmute?
Yes, hi.
Hi.
Hello, hi, everybody. I am originally from Mexico, but I do live in Los Angeles for 100 years. And I work with Telemundo, creating content and helping people come to the United States legally by owning businesses and empowering them not to just work and clean people's houses, but to actually live their great life. And that's why I'm here, to join everybody finding the great life.
All right.
Muy
Welcome.
bien, muy bien, muy bien.
Love that, Lupita. Nice to meet you.
You all.
All right, we had Alicia on, but she dropped off. We'll see if maybe she's coming back on. But in the meantime, want to make the best use of everyone's time. Want to give some kudos to Peg Tucker. So Peg and I have been in the company almost the same amount of time, right? A little over 3.5 years. And we have not worked closely together. It just didn't work out that way, but I've watched her and become friends with her. And same with Susan, kind of watched them do their thing and become amazing leaders and build teams. And recently, we started talking more, and I'm watching what she's doing on TikTok, which is fantastic, pretty impressive. I'm not sure, Peg, if you have taught Drew getting a ton of activity there. I did a training call with him today. He said he's been working really closely with Kelly and just giving him a few pointers. So Kelly and I tag team a lot. So did John Forston and I a lot, Chris Cavadon and I. It's always good, guys, no matter if you're brand new or not, to have support. Kelly and I can tell you that without Chris Cavadon over the last 10 years in our lives, we would not be the earners we are today. We would not have been able to, at least I feel that way, right, Kelly? Like,
I'm right here with you, girlfriend.
pushes us out of our comfort zone, but he also is a consummate professional. He knows how to speak to people, how to close, how to present an elevator speech in a very compelling fashion in a short period of time. And he really helped me in the last 10 years to break out of being in a poverty cycle in my life. Grew up in poverty, grew up on food stamps with a single mom who worked 3 jobs, part-time jobs. And most of my life, you know, my mom bought clothes for me and my sister at the consignment shop. And no shame in our game. I'm very proud of my mom for working as hard as she did and doing it without child support. But I did realize when Chris called me 3.5 years ago that enough was enough. And if this product worked, then I was going to take this thing to the world. And I'm going to give you the exact secret to success. If anyone tells you there's no secret, there's secrets. There's lots of secrets to success. And most of it's in your mindset. And there's a book called The Secret. And if you haven't read it, you should read it. If you haven't read Think and Grow Rich, there's a lot to it that it starts in your mind. Poverty is a mindset, and it's passed down. It's a consciousness. But 3.5 years ago, he called me, and I realized, like, if this product does what I think it could do, then, you know, I'll tell the world and I'll make some money. But what happened with the gel, especially for you newbies on, was within 6 weeks, I had such an extraordinary change and shift in my energy levels. I was chronically fatigued back then. And it was going on for about 3.5 years, and I was going from doctor to doctor, and I just couldn't get my energy where it should have been. And I was always a go-getter, so it was weird to always be tired. And to go to sleep and wake up and be tired was even more frustrating because you're like, hello, I should be able to get going here, and I couldn't. And I tried pretty much everything. So I didn't get on the gel for the energy because I didn't know it would help with energy levels. I didn't know that my hormones were so out of whack that my energy levels would improve. I just went on it because I wanted to lose weight, look younger. I mean, what woman who hears about injectable protocols doesn't go, yeah, look at all the women in Hollywood. So I got on it thinking it was just going to be more of I'll look youthful, I'll drop some weight, boost my metabolism. I had so many amazing results out of the gate. In the first month, dropped 6 pounds without trying, which was super cool. By day 4, night 4, I slept through the night so deep I couldn't believe it. It was like not having kids, you know, the sleep you had before you were a parent. Deep sleep. So did my husband at the time. We were married for 15 years, so he was on it with me as well, and we both were sleeping deeply. Day 7, 8, and 9, no naps needed, and I thought something freaky was going on, but I didn't think it was the gel. I'm like, there's no way after 3.5 years, maybe I'm having a good run here. But progressively over bottle 3, 4, and 5, I was getting up earlier, I was going to bed later, and I was feeling more energetic, and everyone in the house was seeing it. I noticed a reduction in cellulite. I noticed muscle tone. I noticed I didn't have to push as hard to feel good and lose some weight. So there was just a lot that happened in a short period of time, on top of symptoms of perimenopause started to diminish drastically, especially my first 4 to 6 weeks. So all of that said, it's not the gel that does that. The gel is the catalyst to your hormones going back to work. When your hormones are deficient, they affect every organ in your body. When your hormones are healthy and balanced, they affect every organ system in your body. So my body just started to run better because I wasn't deficient anymore. And I decided, and here's the secret, so write it down. I decided if I told the whole world about the product and I didn't shut up about it, that eventually I would be, you know, set free financially. I couldn't see how it wouldn't happen because it made sense to me that no one else has an over-the-counter homeopathic real somatropin in a microdose, so that I knew. I knew that we had, you know, no competition. I knew that it worked and worked really well. And I knew that I was in early and nobody really knew about the company or the product line. So I was like, I guess I'm just gonna, and that was February of 2018. when I decided I'm going to pull the trigger and I'm just going to go with this. And I'm going to do it on social media because I don't want to travel. This was right before COVID hit, guys. So it was like, or I was like a year before COVID hit that I was like, I don't want to travel. I don't want to do belly to belly coffee shop stuff. I don't want to stand in people's living rooms and do presentations on their TVs. Like, I prefer to build it right through the internet. And I didn't know enough about social media, but I knew something, and all I knew was that there were a ton of men and women making money by attraction marketing, so I decided to just use that protocol. So I went to town, and in my first 103 days, I was making very, 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 very good money at the end of the 103 days, and I went for it. I mean, I just went all out. I kept posting about it. I posted correctly, which we'll talk about in a minute. I picked up the phone. I texted people, and all I did with a very postured attitude was say, I've got something extraordinary I stumbled upon. It is not something I want you to miss out on. Once you've taken a look at it, if it's not for you, I'm okay with you telling me no, but please do not dismiss this until you've looked at the video that I looked at. That's all I said. I made sure that they committed to looking at the video. I did not ask them to join, and I did not ask them to buy. What I asked them to commit to was to taking a look, because I knew, and they heard it in my voice, or they saw it in the tone that I put in the text or the post that I created, that this was too big of a thing to miss out on. And I made sure I kept it mysterious enough that they went, okay, tell me more. And that has worked for me now for 3.5 years. I was just looking at my back office. We have over 441,000 people since day one that have joined our group, 6 countries and counting. And that is remarkable. And that's not a sign of Danielle just told the whole world. That's a sign of Danielle told the whole world. She decided because her mentor told her to tell the whole world. He told the whole world. He told the whole world. We continue to teach people to tell the whole world in a compliant fashion. And because of that, the numbers will work in your favor. So please understand that if you're talking to a few people, you probably won't make the kind of progress and income that is life changing. The more people you talk to, the better. Here's the problem. Most people, hey, can you guys mute out for me? Go in and mute out everybody that's on just so they can hear. So what's more important is that most people don't realize that they don't talk to enough people because they're fearful of what to say. Would you guys agree? Chances are most people they're afraid that they're going to have to say something or be super educated, so they decide, I just don't want to risk looking like an idiot, right? I get that. Kelly and I learned that a long time ago.
Too much.
What's that?
Or they say way too much.
Right. Or they go after it and they vomit all over people, and the next thing you know, it's a bad seat. Right? Whoever's got the controls,
everyone.
can you guys mute everybody? Just go to the list of people, and you can actually mute them if you're Peg or whoever else was an admin. Okay. So this is what I want you guys to grasp, because it's this simple. I always say Network Marketing University is kind of what I am like the teacher of. I like to teach people how to network appropriately, because if you do it right and you have the right mindset, it's just a numbers game. If anyone tells you it's not a numbers game, they don't understand network marketing. It's the same thing if I were selling cars. It's the same thing, and I used to sell cars. Same thing when I used to sell houses. I used to be a realtor. Kelly's a realtor. It's about getting your brand and yourself and your message in front of enough people so that enough people want to do business with you, and then your business does what? It compounds, it grows. The more people that join your team, the more people are out there talking. So it's not you talking alone, like when you first join, it's kind of you and just your upline. Eventually, you have a couple people under you who are teaching the world about our product line, our upcoming products, the countries we're opening. But I don't want you guys to get fear or let fear get in the way. You have nothing to be afraid of except missing out on this. If I had not stepped out of my comfort zone 3.5 years ago, I would not be financially free. I would still be miserable. I wouldn't feel and look as good as I feel and look. I look back now and say, thank God I listened to Chris, because he pushed me to buy the kit. He's like, I know you're going through hell. I know you're going through a divorce. I know you're miserable. I know you're tired. I know you're not the old Danielle I remember, but I want you to just try it, because if it works. And I said, you don't even know if it works? He goes, no, I haven't tried it. I just heard it's really good. And I started laughing. I'm like, you're kidding me. He goes, we're all going to try it together. Chris, his girlfriend Laura, 6 weeks, extraordinary results. And that's what I need you to understand is the more people you introduce to it correctly, by the way, there's scripts for everything, so you don't have to think about what to say. And you have coaches, myself, Kelly, that's why I'm here tonight. I want you to be aware that I am here to help you with anything and everything possible. So is Kelly, so is Chris, so is everyone else who's your upline diamond. However, if you don't let us know you need us, if you don't ask, we don't know. We can't know what you're doing. We're not your bosses. We are your teammates, and we're here to work for you, but you need to be in constant communicado with us. Like, I want you to constantly be saying, okay, these are the people I talked to. Here's a screenshot of what somebody said. Kelly, what should I say? Danielle, what should I say? And when we give you that coaching and you copy and paste, you're probably going to either A, get them on the phone with us and let us do our job, or B, they're going to buy from you, or they're going to join without needing a call from us because you're being coached the way we were both coached by Chris. And it's extraordinary what can happen when you're not afraid of anything but missing out on the financial freedom that could come from building this correctly. We have a very simple system for you to follow, but there are two things you have to remember. One is mindset, and two is skill set. There's always going to be both. In network marketing, as Eric Worre says, if you have good mindset but terrible skills, you can still make money because skills are learned. If you have terrible mindset and great skills, you won't make money. And I repeat that. If you have a terrible mindset and you have great skills, you still won't make money. But if you have great mindset and great skills, that's when the magic happens. Well, how do you get both? The skills come by just letting us teach you, by getting onto trainings like this, by going and listening to whatever training we tell you to, doing the work to figure out how to speak better, what scripts to use, all simple stuff to do, I promise you. 15 minutes a day of training when it's not the time to talk to people, but when it's late night or morning, or when you're driving in your car and you can listen to stuff, do it, because that will get you better at your skills. The other part that is supremely important, it's where most people fail, is you have subconscious programming that probably isn't good. Okay, I grew up with horrible programming. I grew up in a very negative household with very dysfunctional human beings raising us. I now know they did the best with what they could, but let's be honest, when two dysfunctional people get married, they usually have a pretty terrible marriage, and it's really tough to not damage your kids. So what I teach people is listen, I'm responsible, so are you at this point in your life, for your programming. You're no longer able to blame your parents, blame your teachers, blame your friends. You have to take the ultimate responsibility and hold yourself accountable for how you think. And I didn't know that that actually was a program that I could throw out and that I could rewire my thought life. I did all of that work and have been doing it for 14 years. In my first 2 years of reading the books on how to get rid of negative thoughts and how to think like a victor and how to become a very successful human being, not just financially, but emotionally, I started to watch everything change around me. It happened so rapidly, it was insane. So I can promise you that if you start to read the books, start to listen to the free podcasts, start listening to YouTubes from Les Brown, Tony Robbins, Bob Proctor's a huge influence in my life. I love Bob Proctor. Please start listening to him. You will start to find that in those 15 to 20 minutes a day, plus the 15 to 20 minutes of skill set, 30 minutes a day, 4 or 5 days a week, you will start to see your paycheck grow in accordance with how your mind is growing and your skills are growing. This is a business, though, where you can make money tomorrow without any of that, as long as you stay really closely connected with us. So when I reached out to Peg, I said, I just want to help you get to Diamond. I want to help Susan get to Diamond. I know you guys are excited. You've been in it for the long haul. Let's join forces and let's get anybody on your team who wants to be coached by me, by Kelly, by anybody in the company who's had success. And please, guys, this is one of my mantras. I know it's one of Kelly's. We do not learn from or take advice from anyone who isn't where we want to be. Okay? So I don't want you taking advice from your uncle who sits at the table this Christmas and tells you that network marketing is a joke. If he hasn't had success in it, or he doesn't know what he's talking about, don't worry about it. Okay? You got to be a little thick-skinned in this business at first. And you have to set your mind that nothing's going to deter you from getting to your goals. I said it on the Saturday call. I say it all the time. I always said to myself, and I know this sounds crazy, I always said to myself in the last 10 years, I just know I'm going to make it. I know I'm going to be, I don't know how, but I'm going to end up a millionaire in this industry. And I know that sounds crazy because on paper, I was dead broke, in debt, in a bad marriage, tired, overweight, and not where I needed to be. I was a go-getter for years, but I never really understood. I opened three of my own small businesses before the age of 31, and all three of them did well. But I never really knew that there was such a thing as a poverty mindset. It was after 31, when I hit 32, 33, when I met someone who taught me, who came into my life, and literally it's like the teacher appears when you're ready. At that point in my life, I was ready for massive change. I didn't want to think like a victim anymore. I didn't want to feel sorry for myself anymore about my childhood. I didn't want to sit in my junk. Kelly had a very different upbringing, and I'm sure she'll share that in a few minutes if she's up for it. But we talk all the time about how she grew up with the complete opposite of me. Yet, look, she was programmed to win. She was programmed for victory, had a great childhood. I had the opposite, but I always knew, and I don't know how I knew, I always knew deep down I was going to make it, that I was never, I'm committed to myself when I had my first child, who I got pregnant with out of wedlock my junior year of college. I became a single mom overnight. I remember when she was first born, I looked at her and I made a promise to her. I said, I'm not going to be a waitress for the rest of my life. I'm going to make something of myself. And you know what? Gianna, to this day, who's 23 years old, says all the time, Mom, I am blown away by what you've done with your life. And I love when she did it this week. She sent me the lyrics to a song that talked about going from nothing to something. And she goes, Mom, this song reminds me of you. And I had a hard time not crying. It's more of like a rap song, and it was a little harsh, but a lot of the words in it talked about going from nothing and becoming something. And I'm very proud of myself for teaching my kids not to quit, for teaching my kids that you don't have to stay stuck in your programming. You don't have to stay stuck in poverty. You don't have to stay stuck at all. But what keeps you stuck are the words you speak to yourself that eventually your subconscious mind adopts. And that's what brings those things into your life. You bring chaos in when you marinate on chaos. You bring sadness in when you marinate on being sad. And my favorite word is marinate. Don't sit in stuff. You can feel it, but then you've got to release it. You've got to get back into the vibration of what? Happiness, joy, peace, love, because that's where the magic happens. People will know if you're not confident. People will know if you're scared. But if you say to yourself, I'm doing it afraid. Danielle said to do it afraid. I want every day to say, I'm a winner. Unmute for me, Kelly. And Kelly and I have a thing we've been saying for years in this company. Right?
I'm a money magnet. Money flows to me and through me.
And through me with ease. I'm a happy, healthy, skinny millionaire. And we're getting
It's our mantra.
like everything we've been saying is happening, right? Because we declare it. You have to declare it before you see it. You don't get to say, oh, when I'm a millionaire, I'll be happy. And it's not about being a millionaire. When I'm financially free, I'll be happy. When I'm this, I'll feel better. No, you actually have to pretend and believe for and actually make like it's already happening, and then you will attract it to you. And if this is all foreign to you, then I love telling you this. Get into this stuff and start reading it. Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. The Secret. Start reading these books. This is all stuff that Patrick just called me. Can you let him know I'm on a Zoom with you, Kel?
Yeah, hold on.
Thank you. All right, so anyway, this is stuff that literally changed my life, and it's all scriptural stuff. So I grew up faith-filled. I'm a faith-filled person. I love people no matter what their faith is. So whatever your faith is or not faith, I still respect you. But I have to say a lot of it is based in biblical principles of what you speak out is what you'll receive, what you declare, what you say about yourself is what you'll call in. If you sit in anger, if you sit in hatred, if you slander, if you gossip, you bring more back, right? And it's that echo. What you put out comes back. So how do we tie that into your business? Your business is going to be exactly what you say tonight, tomorrow, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day. And here's what you should be saying. I am building a massive business all over the world, internationally with the U-Life. I am successful. I am financially free. And it may not even be anything you have yet. And that's okay, because declaring it before you see it come to pass is what will help you make it come to pass. Your words are powerful. Words are containers for power. You can call in life or you can call in death. You can speak life or speak death over other people. And you don't have to take that literally. I mean, you can literally kill someone's spirit with the wrong words. You can literally build someone up with the right words. You can create an atmosphere for good things and for miracles and for breaks and for favor. So if this is stuff you haven't heard, there is a book I want you to read, The Power of the Subconscious Mind by Dr. Joseph Murphy, that changed my life 10 years ago. I have everyone on mentoring read that book, The Power of the Subconscious Mind by Dr. Joseph Murphy. Another book that is a must if you're new in network marketing or you really want to learn the ins and outs. It's still a great book all these years later. It's called Your First Year in Network Marketing by Mark Yarnell. Phenomenal book. He was my mentor in another company, in my first company, and he was a multimillionaire in the company Nu Skin. He passed away about, 5-6 years ago. But he was an amazing man, and he's written some great books on networking, and he was considered the greatest networker in the world. He went out and built it all through cassette tapes back in the 80s, cold market only, and he was able to make millions, and he did it by walking up to people and striking up conversations that I would never do, but he did it, and he's a great mentor. So I wanted to give you that overview before we dig in a little bit more. But because there's people on who are brand new and there's other people who aren't, all of this applies to all of you, because if you're not saying, I'm going to make this happen, if you're not saying, why me? If it happened for Danielle, it can happen for me. If that isn't your mantra, if you're not speaking, your self-talk isn't healthy and it isn't powerful and it isn't in the direction of the life you want to see, I can promise you whatever your self-talk is exactly what tomorrow is going to be. So I need you to get your self-talk to a place where you're speaking life over yourself, you're speaking life over your teams. I had a lot of things happen in this company, so did Kelly and many others, where our volumes went up, our volumes crashed, we had a lot of people come in, then we lost it, then we had it again, then we lost it again, all normal. But someone asked me the other day, what did I do when I was was it yesterday? Oh yeah, I was either today or yesterday. Someone asked me, what was the best thing you did in New Life, and what was the thing you wish you could change? I said to her, the best thing I did, hands down, was persevere through all the ups and downs, because I know a lot of people who wish they had stayed and are regretting it now that we're number 4 fastest growing company in the world, or number 3, I think, and we're number 40 in the world for direct selling companies globally. And I'm hearing from a lot of people that they regret letting their distributorship go. And believe me, it was hard at some points to not quit because things were going so bad and we grew too fast and we didn't have enough infrastructure. But the best thing I did was persevere through the ups and downs, right? And that's part of life, is just staying the course and figuring it out and keeping your dream alive and not letting your destiny be stolen and your chance for financial freedom to be stolen because you can't handle the ups and downs. And quite frankly, years ago, I wasn't emotionally mature enough to handle it. But I did so much personal development in the last 10 years that when these storms hit, I managed the storms better. I did. It wasn't that the storms were any different. It's just that I was able to handle them better. And that's a real sign that you're growing and you have emotional maturity, as you're able to handle the ups and downs, because they're still going to come. We're still going to have ups and downs in this business. But when she asked me, what do I wish I could have changed? I couldn't really come up with anything other than I wish I had fought harder to keep some of those people in. I kind of was like, well, if you want to go, go. I didn't feel I should try and convince anyone. But you know what? I've had a lot of people say, I wish you guys had pushed us to stay. And I'm like, would you have listened? And they're like, maybe, I don't know. But, and I look back and go, wow, these people are now in their 3rd and 4th company since quitting New Life, and they're still getting nowhere. Because let me tell you the truth about network marketing. It's you who has to point the finger at yourself if you're not making money, not your upline. You can't blame us. You have to work on you. When you become valuable in the marketplace, when people see you growing, when they see you maturing, when they see you starting to win, when they see a shift in who you are, they become attracted to you, and then they want to be a part of your team. So when you just leave a business and think, well, there's a new product over here, I can get in early, I can be in with this sponsor, and it'll be different this time. It's not. It's very rarely that you just happen to catch a company and you don't need skills and you don't need a personality and you don't need to try. It's just not, that's not the truth. The truth of the matter is it's what was told to me by my pastor when I told her that I had given up on my marriage after 15 years and, I was emotionally broken. And she said, just so you know, you're going to go into your next relationship with the same baggage that you have now. She goes, yes, you'll exit his baggage. You won't have to deal, but you'll meet someone with baggage because everyone has baggage. And I went, good point. She goes, so if you work on yourself and you really work on that baggage, chances are you'll have a higher chance of success in the next relationship. And she wasn't promoting divorce at all. But she had been, counseling us for a long time, and she knew it was getting nowhere. And she said, I just want you to know, though, you take your baggage with you, and you're responsible for what's in the mirror when you look in the mirror. And it's the same exact thing in network marketing. It's the same thing in being an entrepreneur. If you quit this and you think it's going to be easier elsewhere, it's not about the product or service. The product's fantastic, and it changes lives. Well, listen, we can go find a good product or service elsewhere, and I'll tell you right now, you'll end up making the same check or less than you are now. Or you can do the work of growing yourself and being coached by us and let us help you make money as you grow. And you'll never want to leave, just like me and Kelly, because you'll know that there's value in staying the course. People, if you've ever heard the book 3 Feet from Gold, read it, look it up. There's lots of memes about it. Most people quit right before they hit the mine of diamonds. I came in, it took 8 months for Amber and Dean to come in. They came in, and within 1.5 years, we had 200 diamonds in our herd. 200, not 20, not 2, 200 diamonds in multiple countries because of one phone call, well, several phone calls to them to say, you got to get on this gel, you got to see what it's about, and you got to join this company because you guys could crush this. And sure enough, they did, and they still are. So I'm going to open it up for questions, but I really want to make sure you've written down. I want you to commit to mindset training. You can do that for free like I do right on YouTube. Do it every morning, every night, whatever you want. You don't have to necessarily spend any money out of the gates. There's a lot of free stuff, and all I look up is motivational speeches, motivational speakers, or I'll put in speeches on success. This is what I Google on YouTube, I search. Speeches on perseverance. If I feel like I'm fearful one day, I'll put in speeches on courage. And man, does it fire me up. Turn it up loud, listen to it, and go attack the day. The second thing is skill set. Skill set means you're going to follow the system. There is a simple system for success. Peak interest, using a script. And if you need one, we'll point you to where they are. They're tried and true. 2, send a link, which is getonthegel.com. And 3 is either get them on the phone with one of us, which we will teach you how to do, or if they say they're ready to buy, give them your link and get them set up. There are other things, and Kelly, if you could unmute. Kelly, there is the Gel and Tells. I want you to just briefly explain to everybody why those are working so well and what their potential customer or potential rep will experience. Because as we've invited people to the Gel and Tells, and by the way, there's a script for that, people come on and we get hundreds of prospects and lots of people get signups just from inviting someone to a Gel and Tell, and that works well. And we also have the freedom overviews. There's many ways to introduce people to this business, but I always want you to use a script and not try to go it on your own, because scripts work, systems work, and when you have good, solid systems, people can have success. So, Kel, if you want to talk a little bit about that and maybe dovetail on some of the things. Yep.
As you speak of systems, like Peg knows, Sue knows, Marcus doesn't know this. I have been a top realtor for 28 years now. I was number 1 in my market center, number 1 in my town, number 1 in Western Massachusetts. And it wasn't because I was anything special, anything different. It was because we had scripts. I followed them. I had the right mindset. I would wake up every day. And like Danielle said earlier, I grew up with a silver spoon childhood. I had the most amazing parents. They owned a motel, a restaurant, a bar, a limousine service. I got to work whenever I wanted to work. I got to make all kinds of extra money. It was absolutely fabulous. I got married young. My dad died, and I became head of household when I was very young. And my husband and I divorced at the same time. And I had a dad that constantly, he would say to me, like I was 7, he would say to me, whether you think you can or think you can't, you're right. I'm like, what in the world does that mean? But he got my brain thinking, and so I grew up on Dale Carnegie. I grew up on it doesn't matter what it was. Like this was constantly shoved down my throat. And my father would say, one day I'm not going to be around, and I want you to have those skill sets. My dad died, and with my dad dying, a lot of that mentality died with him, because I looked at it as that was my dad. And it took about a decade of darkness, and I came across in Keller Williams a course called Bold, and I went to that first course back in 2009. And I walked out of that classroom the first day. I couldn't stop crying all day. I felt like I had my dad back. And it was mindset. They were just teaching me everything I already knew. And for an entire decade of my life, I lost that. I maintained being a top real estate agent, and maintained being, the super mom, taking in all the other kids and driving everybody to soccer and baseball. But I was really, for a decade, I was honestly on autopilot. And when that came back around, so before I go into the gel and tell, I just want to explain a little. If you are in the right place of mindset, you are capable of everything, anything that you desire. When you're not, you are literally, as I would say, probably 80% of the rule, the 80-20 rule, 80% of people go through life on autopilot.
Yeah.
And I did that for a decade of my life, and I gave up a decade of my life in hindsight, looking back, and I will absolutely never allow anybody, anything again affect my mindset. This is me, this is my future, this is my journey, and my choice is to help as many people as I possibly can to live the best life that they possibly can. And so, I had the silver spoon. I went to a private all-girl high school. I went to Europe for 5 weeks when I was 16 years old, skiing the French and Swiss Alps, and went to Paris. And when my dad died, all that stuff went away. And all that mindset, I started playing a soundtrack in my head that was just my dad. And it wasn't until I went back to this course Bold, and it was like, it's not my dad. This is the real world. This is everything that's out there. And I have to tell you another thing, because I just think this is really cute. When I was about 18, 19, I said to my dad, I had gone to a Melaleuca meeting, and I said to my dad, I told him about Melaleuca, and he goes, oh, those MLMs, that's ridiculous. They're just a money grab, blah, 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 blah. And so I said to him, Dad, there's a potential to make a tremendous amount of money and help a lot of people. And he was so negative on it. And I remember walking away, gritting my teeth, and I said to him, one day I'm going to make $1 million in that industry. And I was like snarly, angry at him. I go, one day I'm going to make $1 million in that industry. And he looks at me and goes, good luck with that, honey.
Yeah, declarations.
I did it, Dad. But so anyway, I just wanted to explain a little bit about the mindset and how powerful it is, and whether, and you take that baggage, like she said, when my husband and I split up, I ran into another relationship within a year. I took all that old baggage into the next relationship. That was my dark decade. When I ended that relationship, I spent 4.5 years by myself, paying attention to me and what I needed to do to make me the best version of me, because I wasn't going to give crap to somebody else. And I had gotten to a place where I really wasn't really worth giving away. I was just going to bring crap into somebody else's life. So, mindset is such a huge part of everything, and it's everything. Like, everybody jokes, like, all my jokes that I say, every morning I shower with Les Brown or Matt McConaughey, or I shower with Tony Robbins. They're in my phone in the background, and I'm listening to them. I'm like, so this morning I showered with Denzel Washington. It was awesome. You wouldn't believe the things that happened. And everybody laughs. But it's all mindset, guys. Start listening to them, and surround yourself with people that are doing better than you. That's another thing my father always used to say. My youngest son just moved to Puerto Rico, him and his wife and my little granddaughter, Daisy Duncan, and they moved to this beautiful place called Palmas del Mar. They are by far, without a doubt, the poorest people in the entire community. They have no money. Like there's multi-millionaires all around them. They're renting a 3-bedroom, 3-bath, gorgeous ocean view for $1,600 a month. And I said to Brennan, I said, are you sure that you want to pick up and move all the way to Puerto Rico? And he said, Mama, you're the one that brought it up initially. And he said, and furthermore, he goes, you always taught me, don't be king of the turkeys, but be the littlest eagle. And he said, there's a lot of multi-millionaires there that'll have $1 million ideas. And to them, those are throwaway ideas. He goes, I want to be the catcher.
Nice.
And so we picked up on October Halloween, my granddaughter's first 1-year birthday, and moved to Puerto Rico. And they've been there, 9-10 months, and they're really making fabulous connections and really growing. So I just wanted to back that up with mindset and
Yes.
make sure you do that. Now, to talk about the Gel and Tells for a second, the Gel and Tells are a phenomenal tool. Danielle had called me and said, hey, there's other companies doing where there's talking about testimonials. A bunch of us jumped on the call. We were like, threw out different names. It was called Gel and Tell. It became my baby, and I ran with it. I started interviewing everybody for the testimonials and stuff. But the Gel and Tells, it's a simple place when you're talking to somebody about the gel, and you just say, listen, I want you to hear this from somebody other than me. And there's this great call. It's only a half an hour long. It's every Monday and Wednesday night. And tonight, they're giving away 3 bottles of gel at the end of it. Well, they do every Monday and Wednesday, but they don't need to know that, because then if you say that, they're like, oh, I'll catch it next week sometime.
Right.
You say, tonight, they're giving away 3 bottles of gel at the end. It's only a half an hour long, and you get to hear a couple of testimonials of what this product has done for other people, other than you just hearing it from me.
Yes.
And then they say, I think I can make it. And I always say to people, there is no try. It's a do or don't. It's a do or don't. I'll try. And I always say there is no try. Either can you make it or you can't make it. I would just really like a commitment, because I try not to invite my goal is to never invite too many people, because I want to always follow up with the people that I invite. So I usually try to have 3 or 4 guests on. And if you're going to try, I'm not going to count you as one of the guests. So you let me know when you're going to be able to make it. That classic takeaway. Oh, no. Oh, okay. All right. What time is it? I'll be there. It's that classic takeaway. When you say
Yes.
I'm only bringing in 3 or 4 people, so it's important for me to have your commitment if you're going to be there or not. That's huge, guys. And when you say if you can't, that's not a big deal. I just need to know right now if it's a no, or by the end of the day if it's a no, so I can invite somebody else in your spot.
Yep. Great point.
Now, like, ooh, I feel special,
Mhm.
And the classic takeaway works all of the time. So the Gel and Tells, what they are, they're every Monday and Wednesday. They're from 8 to 8:30. We have 2 to 3 guests come on, tell their testimonial of the gel. Johnny LaPresto and I mainly are the ones that talk on it. Kevin Deb, Susie Baffer, Kenny Olson's got his amazing Wheel of Fortune. But we all bounce off of each other, and we have 6 major points that we always make sure that are brought up. We make sure that we bring up that the cost with the replacement cost. I don't have my nails done anymore. These are my own nails. They're beautiful, they're long, they're healthy, I think they need to be painted, but hey. But I used to spend a couple $100 a month on my nails because they would chip and break. We bring up replacement costs. We bring up $6 million bottles sold. We bring up where the company's going. We bring up the benefits. Then we let people tell their testimonials in between. So in a half an hour, people get so much information that they get off those Gel and Tells, and I usually don't have to call them. They usually call me. And if they don't call me, I'll call them, and I'll just say to them, pretty amazing, huh? And guys, learn that line. Learn that line like it's biblical. Pretty amazing, huh? Because if you call people up and you say, so what did you think? They have no idea what they think yet. They have absolutely no idea. It's all so new to them. It's confusing. It's overwhelming. So you say, pretty amazing, huh? Yep, gelandtell.com. Thank you, Peg Tucker. You say, pretty amazing, huh? And they go, well, yeah, it looks really interesting. And then you just say, so would you be interested in doing this as a customer? Or would you want to share? Do you know other people that would also want to look better and feel better? Do you happen to know anybody in your world that would also like to look better and feel better? Well, of course, everybody does. So that, like, you're guiding people into, what is it that Big Al says? I love it. I said it to Susan Bafford earlier on the phone today. Oh, I know what it is. Great line. I say it to people now all the time. So I have to ask you a question, Danielle. In your opinion, what's better, one income or two?
Two.
Everybody's going to say two.
Yep.
So you're opening their brain. You have to expand somebody's brain to say, if you come at people and you're selling them, you have commission breath and they just want to run away from you. But when you come at people and you ask some pertinent questions, and in real estate, they always talk to us before you ask for the sale, you get that person to say yes, at least.
Yes. Yes. Yep.
So let me ask you a question, Danielle. What is better, one or two incomes? One income or two? Danielle's obviously going to say two incomes. Then I say to Danielle, so Danielle, I really am so excited for you to start this business and start this product with me. Let me ask you something. Do you know anybody else in your world that would actually like to look better or feel better?
I'm sure I know a ton.
And
who doesn't?
And so you get the yes, you get the yes, you get the yes, you get the yes. And then you say, so I'm really excited to partner with you. I'm really excited to bring this to the world together. Are you ready to get going? And they were like, well, yeah, I guess so. And I say, well, good. Then the only thing that we have to discuss now is which package you're going to come in on. And then I explain the 1-pack, the 4-pack, and the 8-pack. And I poo-poo the 1-pack because most people are never going to make any money. Rick Cruz is a great example. He was my first, big sign-in. And he called me up afterwards and he said, you gave me an option of a 4-pack or an 8-pack. You never even told me about a 1-pack. Why didn't you tell me about a 1-pack? He said, honestly, Kelly, money was a little tight for me at the time. He goes, I would have been good to coming in at a 1-pack. And he said, because I love you and I care about you and I wanted you to succeed. And if you're going to build a business one bottle at a time, it's going to take you
a lot more work.
A lot more work. But if you come in as a 4-pack or an 8-pack, and then you have inventory. So when somebody else comes in as a 4-pack or an 8-pack, you're handing that bottle off, you're handing it over, and you just tell me, give me a bottle back when yours comes in. Now they've been on the product for 10 days, 2 weeks. By the time their product comes in, they're ready to build. They're not going, oh yeah, this is that stuff that Rick talked to me about 2 weeks ago. Well, I think I'll call him Monday and, start this sometime next week. They're on it, they're up and going. That's such a huge, important part. And the 4 bottles and the 8 bottles are a huge part. But back to the Gel and Tells, they're every Monday, every Wednesday. They're a fabulous way to you just invite people to them. You don't have to say anything else. You can send the gel video, get on a Gel and Tell. You're going to learn so much. See you there tonight. Done.
And I've got a quick script I want you all that are brand new, Marcus and everyone else who's new, to use. For the Gel and Tell, I did this a couple weeks ago for 2 new people and it worked and they were able to get people on. So what you're going to do is you're going to text over or you're going to call, but texting is probably what most people are going to really appreciate from you, right? And you're going to say, I just launched a new venture. I know you're my mom, my dad. It's got to be people really close to you. You're my best friend. You're my mother. I really need your support and would love for you to support me in my new venture. I would like you to just click on this link at whatever time we're going to say. It's whatever, let's say it's a Monday, just say tonight at whatever time. And I want you to watch. And you might win some of the product that the company sells. They give away products. So, hey, hopefully you'll win. But I really just want you to watch and learn what I'm doing. You don't have to buy. You don't have to try. By saying that to your inner circle, we got so many people to get on Gel and Tells in the last few weeks that I wasn't even, it just happened. I said, you know what? Why don't we, instead of saying, hey, would you buy new products and support me in my business? Why don't we just get them to a Gel and Tell? And that's been working. So the script for new people is, hey, mom, hey, dad, hey cousin, hey sister, whoever your top 10 people are, your closest 5 or 10 people. I started a new business. I really would like your support in it. You have 2 choices this week. It's got to be this week. I want to show the company that I can get a few people to watch. All you got to do is watch. You don't have to join. You don't have to buy. No pressure, but I need you to show up. Could you do that for me? And guys, it works. So invite every week for the first few weeks in your business and get everyone in your inner circle on. Just keep a list and watch how many of them, some of them will win, but watch how many of them end up buying and some of them will end up joining, because once they hear the testimonials, it is remarkable. And that's an amazing way to launch your business right through the gel and tells. Last but not least, I wanted to keep this to 45 minutes. So Peg, in 2 weeks, we're going to do another. When I hang up from this, can you text me? We will pick a date for 2 weeks from now. So not next week, the week after. We're going to do part 2, and then 2 weeks later, we're doing part 3. I do these in 3 45-minute segments. So this one was kind of like, hey, mindset, skill set. Next one, we're really going to get into exactly what you should be saying, exactly how to get people on a 3-way call. We're going to have some of you bring up some of the things that maybe are objections you're hearing. Kelly and I will go over all the things that can make you more successful. And last but not least, on the third one, we go really deep because we'll have new people on, but we're going to tell those new people, just listen, but you've got to do the part 1 recording and part 2 before you get on part 3, right? So we want everyone to be at the same pace. So make sure new people getting on have watched the other one, which would be this one, Peg. Make sure they've watched it before they join part 2. So everyone's in the same place. Last but not least, if any of you have not watched the 4 trainings I did on social selling like a ninja, Peg, you can tag them in it, because my brother should be uploading them into the guides, but they're not uploaded. I suck at that stuff. Forgive me. I don't know what I'm doing with that. So my brother is my assistant right now while I'm in between assistants, and he's going to help me upload them so that they're in the guides. But right now, you just have to search my name and social selling on Team New You Life. All 4 will come up. Make sure you guys watch them, because that will teach you so much. So many people are making money because they learn how to do social selling online correctly, and those trainings are really powerful.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I have to add one more thing. Invite to the gel and tell, even though I tell people, I'm only inviting 3 or 4 people, and you make them feel special.
Yeah.
Let me just tell you, Monday night, I invited 13 people, 2 showed up.
There you go.
So just because you're making people feel special and saying, listen, I take this really serious, don't feel bad about going.
Yeah, the average is about 10. You invite 10 to a show.
Exactly.
So listen, if you get 2 on every one for the full first month, and that's a lot of exposures, and you're gonna make money and your business is gonna grow. So don't overwhelm yourself. Just say, I'll invite 10 today, I'll invite 10 on Wednesday. I'll make sure I use the same script that's working for everyone else. Don't overthink it. Keep your eyes on your goal. Make sure you have a coach. Please make sure you let Peg know that if you need me, she can get you in touch with me. If you need Kelly, you need either of us, we're always here. The only day I don't do calls is Sundays. That's the day I keep for God and for family and for rest. But 6 days a week, I'm in it to win it with you guys, okay? And we're going to crush this. Japan's about to open on July 19th. Malaysia and Singapore are opening in the next 30 days. Mainland China will be open in the next 45 to 60. We're launching skincare. We're launching a fat burner that is going to be amazing. We have so much to be excited about. So I'm really looking forward to working with all you guys. And in 2 weeks, we'll do this again. We will put up the day and the time, the night and the time, and we'll make sure that anyone new that comes in watches this so that they're ready to be on part 2.
Thank you so much.
Right.
I just want everyone to know how special this is and how privileged we are. And you need to watch those social sellings in order to come back to our next one. Okay, that's
right,
a requirement for coming back. If you can't find it, ask me, ask Susan, ask Rick, ask Kelly. So thank you so much.
Thank you guys. God bless. Have a great night.